Hello everyone and welcome to this video. I hope it's recording correctly, and it seems like it is. I just turned up the volume a bit. It has been a very long time since I've been making any of this, and I really don't know if anyone wants to see this anymore, but I hope you do. Because, well, this is another part of my Five Nights at Freddy's in a Game Maker tutorial series. And what I've made in the other parts is pretty much the doors. Opening and closing the doors, and the gate, and the office. So it would only make sense to actually start making the cameras right now. So what we need to do to make the cameras is simply go under the night, and the cameras you should pretty much just imagine as being stuff up here. So all this gray stuff is pretty much going to be the camera, and we need different backgrounds for each camera. So let's just say we want to make it very simple, and we just want like 5 cameras. And I mean, I've made this way too big for just 5 cameras, but 5 cameras should be enough for this tutorial. So we can make some backgrounds, and I just click the sound button by accident. So no, we don't want to save that, we want to delete it. And then click the create background button and call this one bck underscore cam01 or something like that. And this one you can just like click here and just resize it to whatever size our cameras are supposed to be. And in my case that's just normal HD size. So yeah, and I won't actually like use images. You should of course use images or 3D renditions or drawings or something. I'll just color them a color and then draw arrows in the ways animatronics or whatever they're going to be able to move the stickmen. So from the red camera, that's going to be the one where they start. They're only going to be able to go either down or to this side. They aren't going to be able to go to any other side. So this is how that camera is going to look. And I mean, that your camera probably shouldn't look like this, because that's kind of ugly. Your camera should obviously like be images, and there shouldn't be like arrows on them. That's just so that you can see how it's going to work. So we are just going to click the user's tileset button over here and make them the same size as the image over here, and then go under tiles under the room, and here we can then select this tile right here. And now we can change this up here to 720 and 640 and simply place the rooms. But before we start placing the cameras, we have to actually decide where our office is going to be, because obviously the office is right down here, but we probably like want it to be surrounded by cameras, because it has to both be able to come from the behind and from the front and from the two sides. So we want the office to be right here in the middle. This means we pretty much just have to imagine that the office is right here when designing the cameras, because that really doesn't matter. So we're just going to imagine that the office is right here, even though it's obviously not. So let's just say the animatronics or whatever, they spawn here in the corner of the map. And I can just quickly make some more offices. I think I'll cut this out, I don't really know, but yeah, I'll just quickly make this cam02. And yeah, now I have made the camera design, and yeah, your camera should obviously not look like this at all. I mean, this is super ugly, and it uses the same backgrounds more than once, and yeah, your cameras just shouldn't look like this. But you get the overall idea, I hope. So you're just like supposed to make different images that fit for each camera, and then just put them beside each other in a way that it makes sense, pretty much. So like the enemies start up here, and then they can either go this way or this way, and when they get here, I can't speak right now. When they get right here, they can go down here, and when they get right here, they can either go into your office or go over here. And when they get over here, they can go down here, and when they get down here, they can either go into your office or just go down here. And when they get down here, they can go over here, and when they get over here, they can go up in your office. And yeah, pretty much it's like a path the enemies can go, and your camera should be made in the same way. Obviously, they shouldn't like have arrows and stuff like that on them. They should just like be rooms or whatever. Yeah, so I hope that makes sense. But we are just going to make another object now, and that's going to be the camera opening object. So we are going to make a sprite, call it spr_cam open or whatever. And I'm just going to make that sprite like 600 by or maybe like more, maybe like 800 by 600. I guess that's fine. I think that this looks okay. And this is pretty much going to be the tablet or whatever you look at for seeing the cameras. So we are going to make this one like this, and it probably should not be these colors because that's kind of ugly. Yeah, that could be the tablet. I mean, you should obviously make it look better than this because this looks very ugly, but this is fine just for the tutorial. So we're going to center the origin, and we are going to go under the room. And I hope, yeah, we have a control object, but we are actually not going to use that. We're going to be using the office move object because that's where we have all the controls. So honestly, I think it would just make sense to use the office move object to open the camera. Or you know what, we're probably going to make like a button that you have to click on to open the cameras and not just use a key. So we also need a sprite for that. That I was just about to forget. So SPR underscore came open. Okay, I already called the other one that. So SPR underscore came button maybe. And I can make this one like 800 by 20. And like maybe it should be a bit bigger than this, to be completely honest. It is not really high enough. There we go. So if I zoom out a bit and then I take this thing right here and I can like do this and color it a little bit and then like make some beautiful arrows on it or something. Yeah, this looks great, right? Yeah, that just looks super amazing. That's like the most beautiful camera button you could ever make. I mean, that just looks plain out amazing. So we're just going to center this and then we're going to go under the, I kind of thinking if I should, you know what, I'm just going to make a new object because then we can organize everything nicely if we have an object for everything. So we're going to call this obj underscore came opener or something like that. Yeah, came open, let's just call it that. And it's going to have this cam button sprite. Yeah. And what we're going to quickly do right now, before doing anything else, is we are going to go under the step event, and then, not exit, that was a mistake. We are going to do so that it sets its x equals view underscore x view plus view underscore w view divided by 2. And this pretty much just centers the sprite, so that makes a lot of sense, I hope. And its y should be equals to view, let's go y view 0 plus view, so no, or maybe not, maybe it should just be like plus 650. Yeah, that makes sense because then it's like going to be in the bottom of the screen. And to be completely honest, I think we should probably change this to like an end step, I think, because then it will synchronize better and not look as laggy. It won't lag behind whenever it's drawn. So this should make it look fine, I think. And then we're going to do so that if you click it, it's going to open the camera. But we aren't actually going to do that yet. We are just quickly going to test if the thing actually wants to follow the screen. So we're just going to put it anywhere in the room. It doesn't matter where we put it. We can like put it in the blank space. We can put it up in the corner. We can put it into the office. It doesn't matter because it's going to follow your screen, so no matter where you put it, it's always going to work. So let's click the new game, and yes, and it kind of works. Not really though, because as you can see, it kind of bends, just like the shader, and we actually do not want that. We want it to be drawn on a UI layer. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a draw event, and on here we're just quickly going to set 2 dashes like this. And this pretty much just makes it so it doesn't draw itself, because when we have a draw event, it won't draw itself. And we just have to put the 2 dashes in here just so it won't delete the draw event automatically. So just do that so that it won't draw itself. And then we have to add a draw UI event. And actually, when I'm thinking about it, we don't actually have to use this code then. I'm sorry about that, we don't have to use this code anyways. Let's just, or maybe, you know what, we're still going to use it because it's still a good idea to have this code, because otherwise you won't actually be able to click it. So just keep this code and ignore what I just said. So what we're just going to do under here, we're going to say draw sprite SPR cam button 0, and then we're going to add this, not the view underscore x view plus, only the view underscore w view divided by 2, because then it will draw correctly. If we add the other one right here, it won't draw correctly. That's because the draw UI event is actually based on the screen instead of where in the room it is. So we just have to add whatever comes after the plus and not the other thing. So this should work. But what we're also going to do is we're going to go under here, under the creation room code of the very first room by going on the main menu creation code, and then we're going to add this line of code right here. Display set UI size 1280 by 720. This pretty much just makes sure that no matter what resolution you have, the UI will always be drawn correctly. Because on some computers, if they like have a small screen, it will draw the UI in wrong places if you don't do that. So that's just a great idea to do that in every game you make if it has that screen resolution. Obviously, if it has a different screen resolution, you have to enter that. So yeah, and it doesn't seem like it works at all, and I know why. That's because obviously I think it's the controller, it draws above it because it has a lower depth. So what we just have to do is like write minus 999, because then it's going to draw above the shader, and therefore you will be able to see it. So that was just a little mistake. So let's create. Yeah, now it works. So take a look at that, an amazing GUI button right here, and it looks pretty cool, I think. I mean, you can't click on it yet, but we're just quickly going to make that. But before making that, we're just going to create an object and call it obj underscore cam open animation, and we are going to set the sprite to cam open, and what the create event is, it is going to be vspeed equals minus 20, and then on the step event, if y is less than view underscore y view plus what is it, 360, then vspeed equals 0, and if vspeed is equal to 0, it's going to set the image x scale plus equals 0.5 and the image y scale plus equals 0.5, and if the image y scale is above, let's say 3, then view underscore visible 0 equals false, and view visible 1 equals true. And this might seem incredibly confusing, and if you think it does, I fully understand that. That makes sense. But what this pretty much just does is it animates the cam opening thing. So what it does is it tests if y is less than this, and if it does that, it stops it from moving, because in the create event we made it move up with a speed of 20. So when the y value is lower than this value right here, that's pretty much it. Like in the middle of the view, it will set the v speed to 0, and if the v speed is equal to 0, then it's going to set the image x scale plus pretty much just make it bigger until it's larger than 3. And when it's larger than 3, it's going to go to the other view, pretty much being the camera view. And we also want it to destroy itself, so we're going to write instance destroy. So this was pretty much just like going to be a nice little animation. So let's go under the views quickly, and as you can see, we have view 0. Now let's just quickly make view 1, and I'll just quickly check this one just so that we can see it a little bit better. And it should like start being right here in the red room, so we're just going to like make it the same size as everything else, and then we're going to like set it to wherever we want it to start. So in my case, that's like around here, not correctly. Right here, that's where I want to start. So yeah, that's just how I have to enter it. And then we have to untick this one, because we don't want it to be visible when the room starts. And oh, wait a second, I just forgot something quickly. We have to go under this one and add a mouse left pressed event. And when you press the left mouse button, it's going to say instance create view underscore x view plus view underscore w view divided by 2, comma room height plus, let's just say 300, comma with the k. This is pretty much just where you know, we create this object. So this is where this object starts. So I think that makes a lot of sense. So let's just quickly try running the game, and yeah, new game, yes, and let's press this button. And to some degree it worked, as you can probably see, but really we need to do the same thing for this thing as we did for this guy up here. So we have to because obviously it was drawn with the shader, we shouldn't do that. So I'm just going to set the depth to -500, go into the draw event, put 2 dashes, and then go under the draw DUI event. And under the draw DUI event, we are pretty much going to do the same thing as here, but we're going to change this just a bit. X should still be right here, but this one over here should not be. This one should be changed to y minus view underscore y view. And this could be wrong, I'm not completely sure this is correct. I think it is, I hope so, but I'm not completely sure. So I hope this is the right way to do it, so I'm just quickly try it out. I think this should work, I'm pretty sure, but we'll see. Yeah, and maybe it works, but we draw the wrong sprite. This one always have to be cam open, so yeah. That was just a little mistake. Yeah, it kind of works. Not really though, because it doesn't really, yeah, obviously it doesn't change the size, because we should use this one instead, because then we can make it draw just like the normal sprite. So we're just going to add image x scale, image y scale, image angle, image blend, and image alpha. And now to work pretty much. So yeah, another thing just quickly have to do is under here we're going to say if in exclamation point instance exists a cam open animation. So pretty much if it doesn't exist, it's going to create it. If it does, it isn't going to do anything. And also if view underscore visible, if view 0 is the visible view pretty much. So you can't like open the camera when you're already in the camera, because that makes absolutely no sense. So yeah. Yeah, and now you can see it opens correctly, and you can't open it again or anything like that. So obviously we now have to, and I'll just quickly take a look, because actually I think, yeah, it's drawing, it's wrong, because it's obviously not supposed, you can't click it when it's actually in the cameras, because it isn't actually there, it's just drawing the sprite. So we're just quickly going to fix that. Instead of writing 0 in here, we're going to add something up here, and it's pretty much going to test if view visible 0 var, and this is pretty much just a temporary variable. I don't know if I've told about this in this series yet, but if you just write var in front of a name, it's going to be temporary, and then it will be deleted after the script is done. So yeah, we're just going to use a temporary variable here, and we just call it var view equals 0. And if that isn't the case, then the view must be 1, so we're going to say var view equals 1. And now you can simply just write view in here. So yeah, now you should be able to press it even though you are in the, and yeah, by the way, we also have to like do it under the draw event. So we'll just copy and paste this under the draw DOI event. And I'm sorry if it's kind of hard to understand what I'm saying, I'm kind of tired right now. And yeah, right view right here, so that should be fine. Great, so now this pretty much works, other than you just have to say else, and then in here we can use the code for taking down the camera, because you know what, yeah, this is getting very long. I think we're just going to make so that you can take up and put down the camera in this part, and then the next part, which will come when I get home from a school trip, so that will be in like less than a week I think. And then I will make how you navigate the camera and maybe the enemy AI. But in this part, I'm just going to make when you take down the camera. So we can copy the OBJ and so cam open animation and rename it to cam close animation. And under the create event, it should set the V speed to 20. And in the step event, it's going to test if it's bigger than instead. And yeah, really, you know what? No. This is not correct. I'm wrong. Under the create event, it's going to say view underscore visible 1, and that should be set to false, and view visible 0 to true, because then it's going to swap back right immediately, because obviously the camera shouldn't go down while you're still in the camera. That makes absolutely no sense. And yeah, so also we have to like set the image x scale equals 2, image y scale equals 2, and I'm sorry about my sister making loud noises in the background. I really can't do much about that. And yeah, and now we're just going to do so that it sets yeah, it sets the image the v speed to 0, and we really don't need anything under the step event. I don't think we can just delete that, and then simply go under the what's it called, other, and then outside room, and then when it's outside the room, it's just going to the instance destroy. And I think this should pretty much work. Pretty sure it will. Yeah, it will. So if it is not true, if yeah, then it's going to do this, but only if it doesn't already exist, because you shouldn't be able to take down the thing twice. So obviously if cam close animation doesn't exist, then it's going to do this and create the close animation instead of the open animation, obviously, because yeah. And also we should change this to like room height minus 720. So yeah, I think this should maybe work. Let's just quickly try it out. And by the way, we also just no, this should work. I was just a bit nervous that I had to add an exit statement right here, but I don't think you have to when you're using an else thing. So as you can see, now it kind of works, but I think it's way too big when you take down the camera. It doesn't look very good. So I'm just quickly going to change this, and this is pretty much just all about like how you want your game to look. You can pretty much just mess around with all this stuff yourself, because it's just simply looks. It isn't really anything technical, it's just how the game looks. Okay, so you can open it and you can take it down. Yeah, and it doesn't look that nice, I don't think, but obviously you can just change that yourself and make it look however you want to. But maybe I should like set it to 1.7, and then like under the step event simply like decrease it slowly. Image x scale minus equals 0.1. Yeah, you pretty much just mess around with it until you think it looks good. And I also think we should like set the speed to 30 instead. So yeah, and maybe like create it a bit lower, like in minus 500. And now I think it's going to look just fine. So and obviously when we add static, it's also going to look way better. We're going to add static in the next episode. I just think this is getting very long. Yeah. You really decide yourself how it's going to look, because yeah, I think this looks kind of cool. It kind of looks stupid, because obviously it doesn't make any sense, that it like turns small, but I still think it looks pretty cool. I mean, if you do not want it to turn this small, you can also just like lower this to like 0.01, and now it's going to turn way less small and just like go down like a normal camera. But really, this is it for this episode, because otherwise it's just going to become so extremely long. I mean, like, it's going to be the longest episode ever. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and see you in the next video. Bye, guys.